So do you have your foldable out that we made yesterday? That'd be probably a pretty good idea to have out. A good reference tool. Okay. If you were absent yesterday, you need to go watch the video and get a foldable made. You don't have to. It's just they'll get to use it on tests and you won't. Okay. All right. So, whoa, whoa. Okay. So here's my foldable from yesterday, right? So what form is this problem in? Vertex form? Is everybody okay with that? Okay, if this problem is in vertex form, how do I find the vertex? It's HK, right? So if I look at the form, H is inside the parentheses, K is outside the parentheses. But remember, what did we write down special about H? It's opposite because the formula is actually X minus H, right? So the minus is part of the formula. So in this particular example right here, what is the vertex of this parabola? -5, -6, right? H is here, K is here, but H has our opposite sign, K has its own sign. Okay? Now, how did I write the vertex? Right? It's an ordered pair. It's a point. So I have to make sure to write a point. Now, some people noticed earlier today that all three of these things, the vertex, the axis of symmetry, and the minimum or maximum, are all written in a different way, aren't they? Okay, and so some people are getting confused, and so we were very, very specific to write underneath this what it is, so we remember how to write our answer. You okay with that? So a vertex is a point, so we wrote our answer as a point. What is an axis of symmetry? It's a line. So if we know the vertex, don't we know our axis of symmetry? Where does it come from? Yeah, from the x coordinate of the vertex, right? So how do I write my equation from my axis of symmetry then? X equals -5. It's a line, so we have to write it as a line. X equals. I can't just write -5 because if I do, yeah, you get a frowny face, right? That's wrong. Or most likely an X minus points, okay? Now, if I know the vertex, do I also know the minimum or maximum? Where do I find that? Yeah, that's the y coordinate of the vertex, isn't it? And what is the minimum or maximum? It's just a value, so I just write -6. Now, can you tell me if this is a minimum or a maximum? Like which one it is? Well, I kind of have to know if this parabola opens up or down, don't I? How do I decide if it opens up or down? A is what? Positive. If A is positive, it opens how? Up. Okay, so for example, let's draw just a little graph like this. There's a pretend parabola, right? Here's my vertex. So tell me now, is that vertex a maximum or a minimum? It is definitely a minimum because it's the lowest point of the parabola, right? So if that vertex is at -5, -6, like we said, here's the new stuff for today. Here's what you need to be able to tell me, okay? First of all, I need you to be able to tell me where this parabola is increasing. Well, sometimes people get confused because it looks like it's increasing everywhere because there's up arrows, right? When we're talking about increasing or decreasing, we're talking about on the domain. So we're talking about x values, and we're talking about from left to right. So I don't start here and go up both ways. I start from the left, and I go to the right. Does that make sense? So where is this parabola increasing then? Isn't it increasing right here? So that's on the right of -5. And why is it on the right of -5? Because I just said we're talking about on the domain, right? We're talking about the x value, and the x value at the vertex is -5. Does that make sense? So where is it decreasing? To the left of -5. Very good. It's still the domain. It's decreasing right there, so it's to the left of -5. What is my domain? What's the domain of all functional parabolas? All reals. And what is the range? How far down does it go? -6. So y is greater than or equal to -6 because it's -6 and up. Does that make sense? Any questions about that? Now, how much of this stuff was actually new? Only those two, right? We've talked about it before, but it's kind of how first time we've written it down like this, right? Because we've already definitely talked about domain and range, haven't we? Okay. Next example. Y equals -2 times x minus 1 squared plus 3. So I need my vertex, I need my axis of symmetry, and I need my minimum or maximum value. So, what form is it? Do you think this one is also vertex form? Yeah? Okay. So good. Let's say it's vertex form. If it's in vertex form, where's the vertex? HK, right? And it is a point, so we need to write it as a point, 1, 3. If I know the vertex is at 1, 3, do I know where the axis of symmetry is? How do we find the axis of symmetry from the vertex? It's the x coordinate, isn't it? So I say x equals 1. Now, some of you are saying it's h. I totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. But do you see why I said what I said? I said it's the x coordinate because that helps us remember to write x equals 1. Does that make sense? Good job. Okay, very good. Just make sure we're on the same page as far as our vocabulary goes, okay? Is this a minimum, or sorry, is the vertex a minimum or maximum? How do you know? A is negative. If A is negative, the graph looks like this, right? So is that a minimum or maximum? Oh, that's definitely a maximum. And where do I get the maximum value? From the y coordinate of the vertex, right? And remember, this is just a value, so I just write 3. This is a line, so I wrote x equals 1. This is a value, so I just write 3. Okay? Can you tell me where it's increasing? So this point was 1, 3. Where's it increasing? So to the left of 1 this time, isn't it? Left of 1. And where is it decreasing? To the right of 1. What is my domain? All real. And what is my range? Range deals with what? Y's. So I look at the y coordinate of the vertex, and I say y is less than or equal to because it's below the 3, isn't it? Any questions? Good so far? Okay. Next example. Y equals x squared minus 8x plus 4. X squared minus 8x plus 4. Oh, this one's a different form, yes? You said standard form? So standard form, how do I find my vertex? So I start with negative b over 2a, don't I? So this is a point. I start with negative b over 2a. So in this problem, what is b? In this problem, what is b? Negative 8, right? So what is negative b? 8 over 2 times a. In this problem, what is a? 1. So what is 8 divided by 2? So the x-coordinate of the vertex is 4. Do I know the y-coordinate yet? No, but what else do I know since I know that the x-coordinate of the vertex is 4? Absolutely. X equals 4. That's my axis of symmetry, isn't it? That's a line. That's why we wrote x equals 4 and not just 4, right? How do I find the y-coordinate of the vertex? In standard form, how do I find the y-coordinate of the vertex? Absolutely. Take the 4, go to the equation. 4 squared, 16 minus 32, so negative 16. Negative 16 plus 4, negative 12. Now that I know negative 12 is the y-coordinate of the vertex, what else do I know? The minimum or maximum is negative 12. I need to know how to draw this parabola, though. Does it open up or does it open down? And how do you know it opens up? A is positive, so it opens up. So is this point, negative 12, is it a minimum or a maximum? It is a minimum. It's the lowest point on the parabola. Okay? So where is this parabola increasing? To the right of 4. And how did you know it was 4? Yeah, I didn't even write the vertex this time, but we have it written back here so we could just look, right? And then where is it decreasing? Left of 4. What is the domain? All reals. You're getting really fast at that. That's good, right? And what is the range? Negative 12, right? Okay. One last example. You okay with that? Okay. Y equals negative 2x squared plus 4x minus 1. Y equals negative 2x squared plus 4x minus 1. I need my vertex. I need my axis of symmetry. And I need my minimum or my maximum. The vertex is a point. The axis of symmetry is a line. And the minimum or maximum is a value. Okay. So what form is this in? Standard form. How do I find the x-coordinate of the vertex in standard form? Yep. In this problem, what is b? 4. That's b, right? So what is negative b? Negative 4 over 2 times a. And what in this problem, what is a? Negative 2. So I have negative 4 divided by negative 4, which is 1. So the x-coordinate of my vertex is 1. What else do I know? X equals 1, right? Now, how do I find the y-coordinate of my vertex? Substitute x. Okay, so here's why I did this one. I almost left this one off, but I have a really good reason to want to do this one, okay? Because this is what I've seen today. I've seen people put in a 1 right here, and then say 1 times negative 2, and then square that. The order of operation police are going to come for you if you do that. I know, because I'm a deputy. I will come for you. Okay? Guys, what's being squared right here? Only the x, right? So when I substitute a 1 in here, the first thing I have to do is square it. And then I can multiply by negative 2. Does that make sense? So what is 1 squared? What's 1 times negative 2? Negative 2. What is 2 minus 4? Because 4 times 1 is 4. So positive 2, right? And what's 2 minus 1? 1. The y-coordinate of my vertex is also 1. So the minimum or maximum is 1, because of the y coordinate, right, of the vertex. How does this open? How do you know that? A is negative, so I know it opens down. So I know that this is a maximum value. Where is it increasing? To the left of 1. Remember, we use that 1 because it is the x coordinate of the vertex, because we're talking about increasing or decreasing along the domain. So we're talking about the x coordinate. Where is it decreasing? To the right of 1. What is the domain? Excellent. And what is the range? Y is less than or equal to 1. And where do we get that 1? From the y coordinate, because we're talking about range, which is the y's, right? Any questions on any of these examples or anything else that you can think of pertaining to this lesson today? You good? How similar was it to yesterday, by the way? Because yesterday we did vertex, axis of symmetry, and minimum or maximum, right? So today we added increasing and decreasing, and we talked again about domain and range. Yes?